Okay, let's just dive right into this explainer. Today, we're laying out a concrete, progressive roadmap to take you from a basic Claude user to a high-level context engineer. Whether you're just casually experimenting or you're a seasoned developer, we are building a clear, step-by-step plan to learn and actually apply Claude AI at its absolute highest potential. Look, we've got to start by killing that fragile prompt and pray mindset. You know exactly the one I'm talking about, right? Where you throw a giant block of text at the AI and just kind of hope it doesn't break when real users get their hands on it. Sure, it might work in a quick demo, but the second you try scaling that from testing to production, it completely falls apart. Literally one word changes and the whole output goes completely sideways. So, to truly unlock Claude, you need a massive paradigm shift. We're moving away from prompt engineering and getting into context engineering. Prompt engineering, that focuses on a single, isolated text input. It's super fragile. But context engineering, that's about architecting an entire structured environment. It involves memory, orchestration, and giving the AI the exact rigorous boundaries it actually needs to succeed. Here is your literal skill tree for today. 1. Master Claude artifacts. 2. Build business guardrails. 3. Optimize context windows. 4. Secure agentic coding. And 5. Engineer context and voice.
All right, step 1, master Claude artifacts.
Let's start with arguably the most accessible UI feature that will completely transform your workflow. Listen, artifacts aren't just little preview panes. They are a genuine micro-app development environment. Live artifacts give you an interactive, stateful AI workspace. And what makes this an absolute game changer is that they can refresh with current data and store up to 20 megabytes of persistent memory across your sessions. That means you can build trackers, daily journals, or collaborative tools that actually remember where you left off the next time you log in. You can generate full financial models, visual prototypes, or even interactive landing pages without ever leaving the chat interface. You need a React component? Boom, done. Want to visualize a complex process with a mermaid diagram or maybe export a polished PowerPoint or Excel file? Artifacts literally handle all of it right there in the side panel. It's incredible. Moving on to step 2, build business guardrails. Now that you've got the visual interface down, let's lock down your business logic so the AI can operate safely in the real world. To stop Claude from leaking sensitive data or just totally going off script, you have to structure your system prompts using this 5-part blueprint. First, define the role. Like, what exactly is Claude's job here? Second, the scope. What can it touch and what is strictly off limits? Third, inputs. What data is it going to receive? Fourth, decision rules. When should it perceive or better yet, escalate? And fifth, the output contract. What exact format is the next system expecting? This blueprint absolutely stops the AI from just guessing what you want. Because here's the thing. You must apply guardrails that actually match the risk level. Drafting an internal memo, that's low risk. Claude can just take direct action. But if you have a medium risk task, say summarizing a customer support ticket, you need a draft and review protocol. And high risk, like modifying your CRM or processing a financial refund? No way. That requires a strict stop and ask for approval protocol. You don't want to overcomplicate the low-risk stuff, but you absolutely must build hard stops for those high-risk actions. Let's jump into step 3, optimize context windows. All right, moving into some real developer mastery here, we need to talk about the hidden danger of depleting the AI's active working memory. This is the 80-20 rule, and it's absolutely crucial. You must exit and restart a session when your context window hits 80%. Claude's context window isn't just a passive storage drive. It is active working memory. If you push past that 80% mark with complex, multi-file tasks, Claude will actually start producing code that directly contradicts the architectural decisions you made 20 minutes ago. It just starts forgetting. So how do we fix that? Well, by chunking your tasks and maintaining a super lean, persistent memory file, you keep Claude incredibly sharp across those massive multi-file projects. First, use the /compact command. This neatly summarizes and compresses your conversation history so you aren't dragging around dead weight. Plus, heavily rely on a CLA.md file. Claude reads this file at the start of every single session, meaning your core architectural rules and coding standards survive restarts without eating up your entire token budget. Which brings us to step 4, secure agentic coding. Now, let's look at how this builds into an area that most teams honestly ignore until it's way too late: agentic security. We're talking about MCP, or the Model Context Protocol.
MCP is incredibly powerful because it bridges the gap between fun demos and actual production. It allows Claude to connect directly to external services, databases, and even your local file system. But, and this is a big but, it also gives the AI access to your actual live environment, meaning if you aren't careful, an untrusted server could literally read or write to your codebase.
And that brings us to a pretty striking number, 28. That is the number of CVE vulnerabilities already found in the Claude Code ecosystem, sitting right alongside over 600 malicious skills in the threat database. Yup, we are talking about serious prompt injections, data exfiltration, and nasty code injection vulnerabilities. Because of this, you must treat AI security just like traditional software security. You need to strictly follow a vetting checklist before connecting any unknown MCP server. First, check the provenance. Is it actually vetted and maintained? Second, review the code to ensure it only asks for the bare minimum privileges. Third, enforce whitelist-only file system access so it can't just roam freely through your hard drive. Fourth, test the whole integration in an isolated Docker sandbox first. And finally, always monitor your session logs. Never blindly trust an MCP server. Period.
And our final level up, Step 5, Engineer Context and Voice.
For this final step, we're going to apply everything we've learned to preserve your stylistic fidelity by using a writing profile. Look, instead of spending hours editing out Claude's default voice, which, let's be honest, is usually competent but totally bloodless and forgettable, a writing profile maps your exact sentence rhythms. It captures your unique vocabulary range, your metaphor patterns, and your specific genre awareness. By feeding Claude samples of your absolute best work and engineering this context up front, the AI generates drafts that actually sound exactly like you. It preserves your unique creative identity.
I love this quote. The prompt became just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. That perfectly summarizes our entire journey in this explainer today. To get real, scalable value out of Claude, you have to architect the whole environment, not just write a clever sentence. We've officially moved from simply typing text into a little box to orchestrating artifacts, establishing hard guardrails, managing active memory, securing agentic protocols, and engineering highly unique voices.
So take these 5 steps, apply them to your daily workflows, and discover what's actually possible when you truly master context engineering. You have the step-by-step playbook right here. The tools are sitting right in front of you. So I have to leave you with this question. What are you going to build now that you're an architect and not just a prompter?